Hey there viewers, it's Charlie. I'm back again with another Transformers review. And today's review is going to be on War for Cybertron Siege Starscream. Now, instead of his usual F-15 jet mode, this guy transforms into a Tetrajet. You know, what Thundercracker and Skywarp transformed into in the first episode of the G1 cartoon. So yeah, this is actually Starscream's Cybertronian alternate mode. And I just want to say, this looks really cool. But before we have a look at the figure... Yep, I have the packaging. So let's have a look at this first of all. So, as we can see, the box is pretty cool looking. Because here it says Siege, War for Cybertron Trilogy. And of course, War for Cybertron is also the name of a Transformers video game. Because that's not confusing. It says Starscream sideways for some reason. I don't know. Generations. Takara Tomy, because nowadays Takara and Hasbro figures usually share the same color scheme. Usually. The sides, well, here we have a few characters such as Sideswipe, got Chromia, got Prime's face here. That looks to be Sideswipe with that looks to be a Battlemaster, I think, or at least using the combat system. I'm not sure. It's pretty hard to see. A look at the back. I'll just show it sideways. Here we can see the robot mode and the vehicle mode. 22 steps to transform him. Advertises some Battle Masters. So here we can see Taraxodon. And I'm pretty sure that's possibly... I don't know who that is. Blowpipe maybe? It's hard to tell because of the colors. But judging by the bit of blue there, I want to say that's possibly Blowpipe. But here, it advertises that you can use the Battle Masters. I'll probably get some in the future, but as of right now, I don't have any. This side, we have a cool picture of Starscream, and this actually has a gimmick in of itself. Normally, if you have a light, you can shine it on the box in a certain way to reveal some Cybertronian text. And then if you went on the Hasbro website, you could type that in to decode it for a secret word. Or if you're like me, just go on TF Wiki to find out what word it is. And in Starscream's case, the secret word is actually no rays. So, yeah. Basically, Starscream's arm cannons. But, come on, we all know what the no rays are. Oh yeah, and the top, which just has a Decepticon insignia. And the underneath, which is just standard under license nonsense, and the barcode. So that's pretty much it for the box. Let's get back to the figure. So, as I said earlier, this is Starscream in his Tetrajet mode, and this is really cool looking. I mean, we never saw Starscream transform into a Tetrajet in the cartoon. It was just Thundercracker and Skywarp. And I do really want to get Thundercracker in the future. Skywarp, I do want to get him as well, but, well, he's harder to find. Hasbro just really likes making Siege and Fry's figures exclusives. Hell, they like to they just like making War for Cybertron trilogy figures exclusives in general. But Siege-wise, only Starscream and Thundercracker were standard figures. The rest of the Seekers are all exclusives from what I can remember. But let's just have a look at the figure. Well, looking at the wings, we can see that the Decepticon insignia is actually here, whereas normally on a Starscream, they'll be here. And the insignia looks to be a movieverse insignia with the angular eyes instead of the triangular ones. If my phone will focus. See that? It looks to be a movieverse insignia. So that's weird. Pretty sure they did eventually come out with G1 insignia versions of this figure, so this is one of the first runs of this figure. The back, we can blatantly see the robot chest there, so yeah. It's a Cybertronian jet mode, so this might not even be kibble. This could just be his portable kick of Fanta, as Few Adams said in his review of this figure. So yeah, kibble, kick of Fanta, your choice. But if this does bother you, it does come off quite easily, which I'll show soon. But we do also have these thrusters here. And if you have the blast effect parts, which I don't, unfortunately, right now, they can attach here. So he can look like he's blasting off if I can get my words out. The other wing, which I forgot to mention, the battle damage, which is another gimmick of Siege. I don't know what to say about this. I mean, it would be nice if we had a clean version of the figure without the battle damage, but I guess it makes it look a bit cool. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, we can see bits of battle damage on this wing and on the nose cone, which it just looks like paint chipping, although it's actually tampographed on. Maybe it's meant to be a throwback to G1 figures after they've been through the ringer. Seeing how you see lots of G1 figures just for spare parts on eBay with paint almost all gone. It's supposed to be a throwback to that. I don't know. I just don't know what they were thinking with the battle damage thing on this. Here we can see the nose cone, which also has a bit of battle damage. Here we can see the cockpit section, which of course is fake. Well, it's not the same as this one, so this doesn't become the chested robot mode. The underneath, which of course has the bit of robot on underneath, because we have the arms and the legs. Well, that's pretty much all I have to say. So let's have a look at his accessories, and he comes with his no rays. And of course, they can attach on a couple of different ways. They can go in like this, or my preference, under the wings. It's gonna be a bit hard to do this one-handed, but there we go. So he actually looks like he's armed now. But if you really want him to look cool, if you remember my review on Trigger Happy, you can get a figure stand, and well, there is meant to be a port underneath there, although it doesn't really. I'm having trouble getting this in, so I usually just try and fit this underneath with friction. But, well, as you can see, you can make it look like he's flying if you have a figure stand, which looks really cool. And before I get to the transformation, let's have a comparison with classic Starscream. Yeah, mine's got the... my version's the actual original Classics version, not the more accurate G1 colored version, but still. Tetrajet vs F-15. Which mode looks cooler? I mean... I'm not going to state my opinion because... Well... To be honest, I'm actually quite tied. Because... While the Tetrajet mode does look really cool, I'm just more used to the F-15 mode. Well, that's pretty much it for the vehicle mode. Let's get to the robot mode, eh? But before I do that, two things. One, this guy's technically a shell former. So this entire bit's just a shell that goes on his back, and this is just a crumpled up robot that unfolds. And secondly, this chest section just keeps popping off. I think they fixed that over a second run, but on my copy, this section pops off really easily during the transformation. You'll see. So let's just remove the null erase first. Stand the camera up and hope it doesn't fall over, making you have to restart the video. Because I've lost count on how many times figures knocked the camera and made it fall over, making me have to restart the video. But to start this transformation, let's first of all take the back section with the kibble chest, unpeg it, get that down, and well, as you can see, it is staying in place, but any single knock to it and it just unpegs. So what I do is I just remove it. Parts forming, yes, but I just prefer to do it. On your copy, it's probably way more stable, but hey, I'm just unlucky when it comes to Transformers figures. Come in here, take the thruster section, move that up here. Take the wings, unpeg them. Then move this entire section, and you can see this entire section just goes around this entire robot section, which is all crumpled up. You see, this is the actual robot bit, so we're going to have to unfold that. So let's start by unpegging the arms from the legs, like so. Get the legs out, and as you can see, this is a really cool bit. You see, this actually makes it so the legs aren't hollow, which is really I really appreciate that. But well, let's spin the waist, open up the feet and heels. And this actually reminds me of Masterpiece Starscream. Not the current one, the 2.0 version. MP11. That's what I'm meaning. We'll take what's normally the chest section, get that down. That allows you to bring the head up. I'll take the chest section and then I'll just plug that in. There we go. There's this flap on the back of the head that you untab and move that around. Coming here to the nose cone. split that, and you just swing that around, and this is really cool. The nose cone is actually what forms the shoulder pylons, if you can get them tapped in. There we go. So you can see that these are actually the shoulder pylons now, which is just a really cool bit of transformation. Okay, we're almost there. Just come in here with the arms. Open them up. Just swing that around. Swing the fist out. And close that. We'll do the same with this arm. There we go. So swing the fist around and then swing that out. Get the wings around. And the no rays, attach them to either the arms or shoulders, your choice. And here we have Starscream in robot mode. So, even though this guy is technically a shell former, he's still amazing. I think it's probably because, well, he doesn't have an entire vehicle hanging off his back. I mean, we still have this, but come on, wings in the back, that's normal for Starscream. If these didn't form the shoulder pylons, they'd just be hanging off and possibly forming another base for Starscream, so the nose cone swinging around to form shoulder pylons is just amazing. Speaking of amazing, these bits in the back of the legs, if this was a Times Return figure, these would not be here. But yeah, the fact that these are here, I love that. It just shows you how much Siege is caring about the looks of the figure. Now, look at the head. If it will focus, we can see that Starscream is frowning. And the Thundercracker figure that I previously mentioned, he's actually smirking. So I don't know, but lots of people have swapped Thundercracker and Starscream's heads, and if I ever do get Thundercracker, sorry again, I cannot speak. If I ever do get Thundercracker, I think I'll do the same, because, come on, Starscream is meant to be smirking. He's meant to be the backstabbing one. Now, what else is there to mention before I get to the articulation? Well, I suppose I could mention all the recolors. Well, I'm just going to transform classic Starscream off camera so we can get to the comparison. Well, aside from Thundercracker and Skywarp, the other recolors that we have are the Rainmakers, which are just, well, they're pretty boring if you ask me. There's Redwing, who is a Selects exclusive, which I think also looks pretty cool. And there's also the recent Shad Glass Starscream, not the BotCon exclusive, but there is a Shad Glass Starscream that came out recently, or is coming out soon. That's a recolor of this figure in Jetfire's colors. I mean, seriously. I think that's cool, but well, when it was revealed on Facebook, a lot of people were just all, seriously? I hate shot glass. Not everyone, but a few people, and I'm just thinking, why? But I'm going off on a tangent. But yeah, long story short, I think I'll probably get that shot glass figure one day, but I don't really have a Hasbro. I don't really use Hasbro Pulse, but maybe I will in the future. So maybe I'll get that shot glass Starscream figure one day. Maybe I won't. But well, before I go off on a tangent about Starscream having Jetfire's colors, here's Siege Starscream with classic Starscream. And we can see, this guy's a Voyager class, this guy's a Deluxe class. Oh, I forgot to flip in his landing gear. Now, the Earthrise Starscream is also a Voyager class, but, well, Earthrise Starscream shares a lot of engineering with this guy. It's not an upscaling, but it's very similar. So, yeah. At least Siege Starscream has thrusters on the back instead of a nose cone, so that I could appreciate him for. Something I can't appreciate though, I wish he had a bigger Decepticon insignia on the wing. I mean, I know we have all this detailing, but still. But, well, let's just get to the articulation. Head. Oh, it's not a ball joint. One thing I forgot to mention is, this guy actually does have light piping, which is awesome. If you can see that, this guy's got light piping, making it its return. So the head's on a ball joint, so it can sort of look up and down, but it can look side to side mainly. Arms can rotate, although the wings can get in the way. But if you move the wings and full rotate, the wings are on a, well, they're on a hinge and just swivel like this. Like any good figure, he can T-pose to assert his dominance to the Seekers. He's got elbows, which can swivel. The wrist can also rotate, but I'd be careful because this wrist popped off when I first rotated it. The waist can rotate. Leg can go up. Can't really go back that far. If I get his arms out the way. Oop. Just mangling his arms. You can do the splits. His knees, well, they got a complete full bend thanks to the transformation. Got a fly rotation here. And he's got an ankle, well, he's got a bit of ankle articulation. I guess you can say he's got a butterfly joint here too, thanks to the transformation. So yeah, this guy is actually quite poseable. Plus, he's got a joint, well, not a joint, he's got a port here for a flight stand. So, if I can just pop this in, this is going to look wrong, but hey, it was Hasbro's choice to put the port there, not mine. You can put him in some really cool flight poses. Oh yeah, he's also got a full range of for elbow. So yeah, that's awesome. And well, that's also all I have to say about this guy. Complaints? Well, the complaints about my hands is they can't stop shaking, but complaints about this figure? Well, minor ones are, I think the battle damage looks a bit weird, but that's just my nitpick. An actual complaint is the chest keeps popping off during transformation, but they did fix that with later revisions, thankfully. The Decepticon insignia on the wings should have been bigger, in my opinion. And I wish they'd given him the smirking face that Thundercracker had, but those are all the complaints. So, do I recommend Starscream? Well, definitely. I mean, look at it. Just look at him. He's freaking awesome. I mean, he's got an awesome jet mode, an awesome robot mode. Plus, well, if you also have Earthrise Starscream, they can actually coexist because this could be Cybertronian Starscream. Well, me personally, I think this is going to be my generation Starscream figure for the time being. Because, well, I don't know if I'm going to get Earthrise Starscream or not. I just don't know. But, well, this has been my review on Siege Starscream. And this is Charlie Young, signing off.